Good morning, friends. It is July 6th, I think, and we're gonna do one of the classic hikes in the Grand Junction area, which is Liberty Cap. I've done this one a couple times, I think, at least once. It's not too bad. It is an 1,100-foot ascent over the course of 1.5 miles, so relatively steep, but nothing undoable. And at the end, there's a really cool overlook into a canyon. It's really beautiful. So we're just going to get into this hike, and I'm going to ramble a little bit and make it up to the top of Liberty Cap. If you're wanting to do this trail on your own, if you're in Grand Junction area, you can just look up the Liberty Cap trailhead on Google Maps, and it'll bring you to this parking lot right here. It's pretty small, and it's a very popular trail, so I'd probably recommend getting here early. It definitely fills up totally on the weekend, so keep that in mind. So a little update on the life and the channel. We've had a pretty big change of plans happen this week. The original plan was to go on a countrywide tour. So do a whole bunch of things in Colorado, then move down to New Mexico or Southern California and then Texas. But I had lunch with a prior employer of mine, and I received an offer that I can't really refuse. So I'll be working part-time in person, so I'm gonna have to have Grand Junction be my home base permanently. So what this means for the channel, that instead of seeing different parts of the country, we're going to be kind of focused on Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, and New Mexico, which is fine. There's so much to do around here that I can't really complain. Frankly, I'm kind of excited to do it this way, because I'm going to be able to do a little more deeper research on stuff before I do it. It's not going to be so fast and furious. We've almost reached the edge of the monument, and you can now see or get a good view of our endpoint. So our endpoint is that point right up there by my fingernail. Can't get a great view of it. I'll try and add something in post. Oh, nice, I'm downhill. Yeah, we're just gonna chew this up, and I'll give updates periodically. Nice little view of the Grand Valley. almost there. We're 2/3 of the way. 1 mile down and half a mile to go. But looking at the section we're going up, looks like it's pretty rough. Our goal is over that ridge. One of the major cool things with the monument is that you get, because of the type of rock it's made out of, you get a huge variance in the colors of the dirt. You have the red sand like this, but then, like you saw in the beginning of the hike, it was much lighter dirt, almost white. And you get the same variance in the colors of the rocks. You go from white to red to black. It's so cool up here. Here's a view of a slab of rock that shows what I was talking about with the different colors of rocks and sands and dirts on the monument. That layer got kind of a white and red combo. White, red, but in this section you get more of that black rock right there. It's just so cool. Well, we're on this little bit of an easy part of the trail. I'm going to give a little update on myself and the whole life situation. So the big thing, I'm feeling a lot better mentally now that I've started doing this living out of my truck thing and not doing such a hard job anymore. And now this part-time job that I just picked up, or I'm going back to be more specific, it's a lot less stressful. And I'm just feeling a lot better. Losing weight. I don't own a scale anymore, so I don't really know how much I've lost, but I can feel it. Feeling better. And a really nice thing is that, whether this is I'm not going to say you should do this, but I stopped taking my psychiatric medications. I used to take a antidepressant and an antipsychotic as a combo, and some of the side effects of those were getting really annoying, and I was much more happy in life, so I decided to go ahead and suspend the use of those meds. The only med I take now is one for my seizures, which is not optional. It was exciting a couple seizures ago, or the last one I almost had. I'd heard interesting reports about the use of marijuana with getting a seizure to stop. So the last one I was having, I told myself twice ago to try that next time I was going to have a seizure. And last time I started having my symptoms, I started having an aura on the right side of my vision that was getting bigger and bigger. and I smoked some weed, and then my aura fizzled out. I'm not sure if I forgot to take I don't know if I forgot to take my medication that day, or if I was going to have the seizure anyways, or if that was going to be the maximum of the symptoms. I can't say. All I can say is that anecdotal evidence, which doesn't count for much, but it's interesting. So that was exciting to learn that weed might help me control my seizures. It wasn't shocking. I've heard reports of that many times. The kind of negative going on in my life right now is that I'm having trouble selling my house in Florida. So I had it under contract with a buyer, and then as the title company was doing their thing, they found out. So I lived in one of the two oldest neighborhoods in Tampa, Ybor City. Turns out my house was a historical site and protected under historical site laws. And everyone who wanted to buy my house wanted to drop another house on my property. I own a home. Oh geez, that's deep. We're gonna stop here while I finish this. I owned a home and the adjacent lot, and everyone wanted to put a house on the adjacent lot for more rent. So I had it under contract, and then we came back with that historical site from the title company. So now it's delaying the sale of my house in Florida until the seller, the buyer, is able to get the historical designation taken off of it, which takes about 2 to 3 months. So hopefully I'll be able to get my house sold in the next 5 or 6 weeks. So that'll be nice to get that money in. That's pretty much what's going on in my personal life. Overall really good. I've been drinking too much. That's a bummer. I'm trying to get back down to my usual drinking amount of 3 beers a week. 1 on Friday, 1 on Saturday, and 1 on Sunday. That's what I like to get back down to. I feel a lot better then. Not so tired in the mornings, that kind of thing. I knew I'd be drinking too much when I first got to Junction, so it's not shocking that this is happening. But I just got to work at getting back to my old habit. But enough of me. Back to the mountain. I can almost. So I think our goal is right over this hill right in front of us. Right over that hill. I think. We'll see. Happy to report that I was completely wrong. We're here. There's the end. There's the big old titty on the top of the mountain. I'm very pleased by this. Just barely see where we started the day off. Right down there. Here's the view of the canyon I was talking about at the beginning of the trail. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but you can see a really good example of those black rocks right there. With this epically beautiful view, I have a question I'd like to ask you all, and you can put your responses in the comments below. But when was the last time you crapped your pants? I'll start with mine. It was almost exactly a year ago. Here in Junction, I was visiting from Florida, and me and my buddies were about to jump in the car and go for a ride somewhere, and I trusted a fart that I shouldn't have. I realized immediately it was not air, but I was hoping it was just a little bit of a Hershey squirt. And no, it was like full on throwing my underwear out in the bar bathroom situation. Major bummer. It all stayed in the underwear though, so that was nice. Anyways, put your response in the comments below. And I'm going to sign off. And I hope you guys all had a good 4th of July. And have a good rest of your week. See ya.